right, man, welcome back to Adventures in Trucking, man. We've been off the daggone road for a little bit, at least professionally anyway. We have been out to Utah, probably some little shorts and videos and things of that online. We went out to Utah and did Moab with the side-by-sides, and actually I did take my four-wheeler, so we had one four-wheeler and a couple other machines, but there's about 30 people that went out, had a great time in Moab, Utah, Thompson Springs, Utah. It was just amazing, man. It's always been on my bucket list to go ride those places in the off-road side of what we do. So we got a chance to do that, man. So yeah, we took Tia out there. We had the 53-foot enclosed trailer, 3 machines inside that trailer. 2.5 days to get out there, celebrated my wife's birthday. Stopped at the St. Louis Arch, stopped in Memphis for lunch, for barbecue, and just made a vacation out of it. But we are back at work now. We got 2 loads on here. One of them's going to Indiana, one of them's going to Illinois, and we are loaded with the second pickup now, so we'll start making our way. We got like a 10-hour ride. So we're back at it, man, back up under the steering wheel. We are northbound and down. We'll check back in with you later. All right, so after 2 hours, we finally got this on the trailer. So what this is a semi-style pintle tongue trailer, which this flatbed on this trailer does dump. So long story short, the broker just said it was a manufacturing trailer. It is not that. It is a manufactured trailer that he had no description of the trailer whatsoever. So we get here and it's an air brake trailer. Not able to move it. He's like, oh, you got a winch, you got ramps, right? Like, yeah, but what are you gonna do with the tongue? Long story short, we were able to forklift the trailer up from both sides, forklift the trailer up in the air, then we back the trailer, my trailer, up underneath of this trailer. So, man, you know, you just get people that can't seem to get out their own way. And 2 hours later, we ended up doing exactly what I said, which when I got here 2 hours ago. So we got it on the trailer now. We're gonna go ahead and chain it down. We're going all the way to Texas with this. We're in Cincinnati. No, we're in Indianapolis. We're in Indianapolis, Indiana right now. So we'll get it chained down onto the trailer here. I'm gonna chain it to the back, chain it to the front, and I'll throw one more strap over the tongue just to hold the tongue down. But then also I want to pull it back just a little bit so I can get that tongue on top of my board here in the back. How should I show it? Show him the trailer from the side view of the trailer, then show him the tongue up front. So this is a trailer that Builders First Source Construction Materials had. They sold it. They pulled it behind one of their bigger Class 8 trucks. And they'll allow them to basically take 2 deliveries. So they'll load this with a delivery, tilt the deck, dump it, and then they'll disconnect from the trailer, make the second delivery off of the truck, which that is the truck that pulls this trailer right here. And then once they get the truck empty, they'll hook the whole thing back up. But this has a pintle hook on it, or a pintle ring. Some people call them GI rings. Apparently some other guys showed up to pull this thing. He eventually got it together and pulled this thing all the way to, what did he say, Florida, with a Nissan Titan. I don't know how, but he went to Nissan. He went to all the way to Florida with a Nissan Titan and this. He had to get all kind of things. He had to get a pintle hook for his truck and had to get an adapter to be able to hook into it and back the air brakes off, which, you know, they were looking at me when I got here like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like, no, I don't have to do none of that. What I do is haul freight. I don't run cranes. I don't run lifts. I don't run, you know what I'm saying, trying to have to get this thing up on a trailer. Not my job to get here and have to figure out how to get this on a trailer. You guys need to be ready to ship it when I get here. It's not my responsibility. So long story short, they did finally get some fire up underneath of them, and 2 of the older guys that work here was like, yeah, man, we'll get it, no problem. They forklifted from both sides like that, picked the trailer up in the air, and I literally just backed the trailer up underneath of it, which it took them longer to get over here from across the street over there. It took them longer to get over here on the forklift than it did to actually do the job, which we could have done 2 hours ago when I first suggested when we got here. But it is what it is. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten my chains at the back because I want to slide this just a little bit. Hopefully I want to slide this just a little bit further on here. I'm not able to knock it with my load bar and move it. The tongue weight's too heavy. So hopefully I can kind of move the trailer back with the chains and just give me about 1 inch or 2 back further with it. If you guys remember, you see these 2 boards right here obviously look different than the rest of them because we had this exact situation and the tongue jack foot punched down through the boards. Probably wouldn't go through these boards because these are new boards, and these old boards that were here were soft and, you know, they just didn't hold the weight, and the other trailer was a lot heavier. But just as a preventive measure, we're going to put these underneath here, spread the load across multiple boards. So that's the plan. We'll check back in with you in a minute. Alright guys, we just got to our stop down here in
Brownsville, Texas, which is on the border of Mexico, pretty much 5 minutes from the Mexican border. We had to build up this ramp here because they didn't have any equipment to lift it on the same way that they lifted it on back in Indianapolis, even though they told us they did. So it is what it is. We're gonna build this ramp, set those 2 ramps down on top of this, and then it'll go right down over to this ramp, and then they'll just pull it all back off. But this is what we got so far. He brought over the with a skid steer, and yeah, this is what we got so far.
All right, so what we got right now, we're in Brownsville, Texas. We drove all through the night, hot shot shorty. I drove my remaining hours yesterday, which was, I don't know, 6 or 8 hours. Hot shot shorty drove his 11, and in which course that time I was off the clock. And then we changed out drivers after he drove his 11, and I drove the rest of the way down here, probably another 5 or 6 hours. So it is Thursday. We are in Brownsville, Florida. Yesterday we were in Indianapolis. We're in Indianapolis, Indiana yesterday. Now we're in Brownsville, Texas. But the plan now, they told us that they would have equipment here. I specifically asked the lady for 2 forklifts because that's how they loaded this on the trailer. They had a forklift on this side here, same thing on the other side. They raised the whole thing up in the air. You'll see it on the video, and I just backed the trailer up underneath of it. So I've talked to a lady on the phone. I know for sure, I asked her, do you have 2 forklifts? She said, yeah, we're a construction company. We have 2 forklifts. We got all kind of equipment. We got it, blah, blah, no problem. When you get down here, we'll get it off. I get down here. This is what we got. Whatever kind of construction they do, they don't have 2 forklifts here. She did tell me that this was their remote location, but everything around here has got Sunbelt Rentals name on it. And I don't see in a forklift the first one anywhere, and we need 2. So the plan is that he was going to hook onto it and try to pull it off of the trailer. He actually bought this dirt in here, made this little ramp where he could pull it off of the trailer, but we got that van behind us that he won't be able to pull too far. We'll have to move that van potentially. We thought about maybe just leaving it hooked like it is and drive the truck out from underneath of it, but then we won't be on top of our dirt ramp right here. If I move the truck forward, by the time we get this trailer to the back of that trailer to the back of this trailer, the back of this trailer will be up there where that toolbox is. So we need to stay up against this little dirt berm that he made, this little dirt ramp that he made. And so now we're trying to, I guess, go with plan C to see what is going to be. I started to pull off of this load when we were in Indiana, and I even told Hot Shot Shorty, let's call Texas and find out what the plan is in Texas to get this off, because if they don't have a plan, I'm not taking it. And I spoke to her, and she said, yeah, we got all kind of equipment, so on and so forth, and here we are. So despite my best efforts, here we are, trying to figure out how to get this thing off this trailer. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's just, I'm done, man. I'm done. You know, we got 2 sayings that we say. Some days you're the grass and some days you're the lawnmower. I don't feel like we're the grass yet, but I do. The other saying that we say is, you can't write this shit. And today, you can't write this. Despite my best plans, we have called ahead multiple times to make sure somebody was here, because we originally thought we wouldn't be here until Friday morning. It's Thursday afternoon. So we are well ahead of schedule. But man, you just can't write this stuff. You just can't write it. So right now we're gonna figure out what it's gonna take to get this thing off of this trailer, and we'll get back to y'all when we get it on the ground. it. All right, man, it's Friday afternoon. It is 5 minutes to 3 East Coast time. We're in Texas, just east of Houston, Texas. We got this load right here. It's 12,800 pounds. It's going to Marion, Ohio. Is it Marion, Ohio? So we're here in Texas, Houston. We'll pick this up. Got it on the trailer. We're ready to ride. We'll go to the house with it this weekend and keep on rolling out with it on Monday. So it's just 2 double stacks in the middle, 2, 4, 6, then the single stack on the front, and then a horizontal stack on the back. So yeah, man, we got almost 13,000, 12,800 pounds on here. We'll drive this all the way back to Atlanta today because we got enough hours between the both of us so we can both drive it. So we got our little corner protectors in up there, there's little carpet strips and stuff. I got to keep an eye on these straps because this stuff is really abrasive. It's like galvanized. I do have my edge protectors up there as far as the carpet, but if it starts to cut those carpets as we go down the road, then I will actually either double them up or triple them up or use a heavier piece of carpet that I have as well. So you just got to be careful, man. This stuff right here is really sharp on the edges, and that's the reason we put the twist in the strap like this. So if your strap is straight, your straps will start basically billowing out on the load like this, and what that'll end up doing is it'll end up abrading itself right through there. You put a twist in it like that, it acts like a airplane propeller. The air hits it, and it doesn't. The strap doesn't do this going down the road, so it won't be moving around a lot and causing it to basically just cut itself in half. So each of these have all got a twist in them. The ones on the back don't. They're very short and they won't be catching air that way. But when you have a long pull from here, 7-8 feet high like that, you want to put a twist in them, and that way it acts just like a daggone airplane prop.